look, we're not anti-software. We're not anti-AI. We're against the marketing of the idea that AI and software will solve all your content production problems. One of our challenges is communicating to marketers and to corporations that there are a lot of software applications that claim to make, hey, just use our software and scale your video production, capture executives, capture subject matter experts. But they then have to buy that software and do that thing and realize there's a lot of things that there are nuances to, from coaching the expert to equipment to post production. They just don't realize a lot of that, and it ends up costing them a lot more than just working with a professional.
I was thinking yesterday, I had a couple recording sessions that I was producing, and the coaching that we brought to the table with the participants was paramount to the success of the sessions. It really helped bring out the delivery of message, the authority, the empathy, the humanity, and just, these are not professional actors. It might be an accomplished doctor, but they're not a media personality. But in that hour with them, we were able to help them be an authoritative media personality in the moment. So what are our alternatives to that humanity? When does humanity matter versus any old instrument to deliver a message? And I got to thinking, like, what would be our alternative to this? Is a one-off, right? So it's not like the same person is going to deliver message after message after message. So you could build some sort of AI model in their place. It's not worth the investment of time and energy for this one-off recording. At least as things stand now, right? The other alternative is to have someone else deliver the message instead of them, but there goes the authority. Now you've just got an actor or an ambassador.
Well, there's so many times in there. Now, if I was a marketer who didn't understand production, this stuff seems very shiny. It's the new shiny object. I mean, there's lots of AI software, and we you even use some
Sure.
ourselves on the back end because we know how to use the tools and where to get the most value from it. But as a marketer, when I see headlines that say produce video content at scale, capture your executives where they are, you don't need to edit, AI will do it for you. That sounds very compelling. I want to buy that
Sure.
thing. But on the back end, we've seen things. We've seen equipment that you miss an adapter and the whole shoot is done for. We've seen lighting issues you got to fix for. We've seen editing that you need to do because you need certain kinds of files separated. We've seen executives who need some coaching or can't deal with complicated equipment. I mean, there's all these little things that add up to cost way more than what you thought you saved by buying that software.
In fact, you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of automated agents on phone systems. Now, those have been around for years and years and years. But how many of us still go, representative, representative, I want to talk to an agent? Because either we don't trust it, or there is a difference between what that can interact with us on and the unique nature of the message we want, the communication we want to have with that company. And the cost to that company is you may solve, and maybe this equation works for them. So there's a certain amount of collateral damage of loss of consumer confidence or consumer experience, and it is what it is. But there's an erosion of a certain number of people that are just not going to be satisfied with what that automated agent can do. And that's damage to the company and reputation when those people can't get what they want. So you still have to have those live representatives available. So similarly, no matter how much AI or mechanized tools, automated tools that there are, those shiny objects you mentioned that seem like they should be able to be the solution for what ails you in a shrinking marketing budget or higher demands or fewer staff members or do the better thing for a marketing team. Sometimes there's just humanity and a way of interacting with people that can only be accomplished with a real person that you can trust and you can have a unique, nuanced message with. And I think that's where that's a space we sit in, is how can you deliver those messages? How can you capture those messages and shape those messages in the most efficient and cost efficient way possible while still injecting the humanity that's necessary for success?
If you're a marketer struggling to create content that's truly unique to your brand, here's the key. Your experts and executives are your most valuable content assets. Conversational content like videos and podcasts featuring your team stand out above all other content. So, instead of creating content that sounds just like your competition, start leveraging the unique voices inside your company. Thought leaders and authentic conversations build credibility and engagement. At Content Monsta, we specialize in remote content production, meaning we coach your people to be comfortable on camera, then we capture and produce high-quality videos and podcasts featuring your team and customers. No need for expensive production crews, long production plans, or complex setups. Want to see how it works? Visit contentmonsta.com today to learn more. Now, you mentioned earlier about there are scenarios where consistency allows you to use these types of technology. I am all for AI and efficiency. And
100%.
as you mentioned earlier, here's a scenario. Let's say you're a marketing team and you're going to record the same people over and over and over. You're going to be in the same environment over and over and over. And you have a consistent pattern to where it's the same location, the same people, the same method of delivery of the speech or their script or their conversation. Then it's predictable enough for those AI based softwares to make you very efficient. That's where I would say go out and buy the AI, the software that can make you your own producer. That's when it works. When it doesn't work is when every person you record is different, every scenario, every location, every piece of equipment, every personality. That's when you need a professional to help coach through everything from performance to technology.
So this brings up a question for me, Lee. Will messaging conform to the capabilities of technology? Meaning, okay, the realities of economy require us to use more automated tools. So we're going to shape our marketing messages and our expectations around what these tools can deliver because that's the economic reality for us. Or are there certain truths you just can't get around and there's always going to be a place for that, the things you were just mentioning, the nuances, and you have to be able to make room for that in your economics
Yeah.
in some capacity, or you fall behind and those with that nuance and humanity stay ahead. So you know will the dog wag the tail or the tail wag
Yeah.
the
Well,
dog in terms of automation?
people are not that programmable. In other words, each person you record or capture for content will be a little bit different. Their personality is different. Their patience is different. Their attention span is different. They're going to have different equipment, different environments. As long as that's the case, no one shot piece of software or process is going to cover every person. This is where the human in the loop makes the difference to say, I've seen this before. This is how we handle this in this situation. And I know you as a coach, sometimes it's very psychological. Like, okay, the person shows up, their lighting is off a little bit, you fix their lighting. Then their audio is a little bit off, you fix the audio. And at some point you go, okay, we've pushed this executive far enough to where the quality of what we're going to capture is high enough. It may not be 100%, but the human in you reads their patience, reads the room, and knows it is time to capture this content because this may be our only chance to capture this valuable thing they're going to say. So we can sacrifice a little bit of the lighting for all this valuable content from this executive. That's the human part. Software can't judge that room.
And on top of that, you're absolutely right. 100%.
Marketers and sales leaders, if you want to close more deals and drive real revenue growth, you need cash. And I don't mean money. I'm talking about my new book, Cash, The 4 Keys to Better Sales, Smarter Marketing, and a Supercharged Revenue Machine. It gives you a proven framework to improve the 4 areas that impact revenue the most: communication, alignment, systems, and honesty. You need a stronger sales and marketing engine, and this book will show you how to build it. Get your copy now at aleadjudge.com/cash. Now, back to the content. Look, we're not anti-software. We're not anti-AI. We're against the marketing of the idea that AI and software will solve all your content production problems.
Okay, now that we are at that point, we're going to capture the message. What is the message going to sound or look like? And the psychological aspects of learning how that executive or participant is, how they tick, if you will, and what can you do to help them get themselves in a mindset and a way of delivering information that will make doing this in the first place even worth it. Example, yesterday a session, and the gentleman who was a busy doctor and a really nice guy, but he just has a way of communicating. He's a quick talker. He gets to the point. He's trying to get through it. He's trying to help and deliver, and he's got a place to be and everything like that. And just a simple Jedi mind trick of telling him to say, "Hey, buddy," and pause, and then say his next line, deprogrammed his brain to think about the "hey, buddy" instead of the line. And by the time he gets to the line, he's in a relaxed, get out, don't overthink, get out of your head place. He doesn't know I'm doing that. I'm making it fun for him. I'm asking him to trust me and indulge me, and it becomes different and new and fun, and he forgets about his next appointment for 2 seconds, and we captured gold. And the reason I say that is the AI doesn't know that. AI doesn't. Theoretically, I guess you could program it when someone's like this. Here's a response you can give them to coach them. When they have this body language, you could coach them. But there's such nuances and micro expressions that we pick up that can allow us through experience to very efficiently and quickly get to the result through Jedi mind tricks, through
So let's call it
psychology.
Jedi producer tricks. It's those Jedi producer tricks that allow you to capture greater quality of video from your video subjects, something that AI can't do.